Hello everyone. Today we will start, not today, basically we start in the last video also about the list. What is list? Now we stop here. We did the theoretical part of creating a list by taking input from the user. Now we do it practically. How we will take an input from the user. Fine. Now let's see. We just open our ideally. Fine, we create one list, um, like empty list we can say. Okay, now we will take how many numbers we want in the list, means how many elements. So elements number should be of data type. Okay, just input and again one bracket, enter the number of elements. Fine. Now so this will enter how the this will enter a number of elements. Fine. So after entering the number of elements, we will just iterate the number. Suppose we want 4 elements, so we will enter here 4. Now what we have to do, we have to iterate the numbers. Okay, so for iterating, we will use for loop. Okay, and loop will go from 0 to whatever range we mention there. Fine. So here I will take a variable for iterating I in range. Okay, what will be the range? And range will start from 0 to n. Now we just close the bracket and semicolon. After that we will take one variable. Suppose we will take one variable y. For what we take this variable? For inputting a number of the values, for inputting the values. Okay, so int input, we just leave it blank. Now what we will do in next line? Now we will just add the element in the list. So what's the name of our list? List. Okay, so list dot append function will work here to append the elements. And what are the elements here? Y. Fine. So we close the bracket. Now we will print the list. Okay, what happened here? Oh, we use two brackets. Fine. Okay, we have to once a minute. The whole program we will write in the script mode till here, because why we will do it again. Fine. So new file. Fine. Now what we will do? We will just print the. Okay, we will print it. Wait a minute. We will print our list y. List. Fine. Now we will remove these things, because otherwise this will create an indentation error. This will show the indentation error. This line is also an extra line. Fine. Okay, now okay, again this. Fine. We will save this program by, wait a minute, it's just saving. Append name. Okay, now we save it. Now we will see and we will run the module. Now after running the module, you will say it's asking for the number of elements you want in the list. We will write down here 4. Fine. Now we will enter the elements 1, then I will enter 2, then 3, then 4. Now it will show that there are 4 elements, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So again, if you want different data type of elements, you just run it, say F5. Now what we say, only three elements we want to enter. So first one is your integer, then your decimal. Now what happened here, because here you mention int type, that's why it will not take float or string. So if you are mentioning here that in your list only integer type are included, so you should write the data type int. Else, now student, if you don't want any data type, just delete int from here if you want a mixed type data item in your list. Now after doing this, save it and run this module. Okay, so it is taking a time to running this module. Wait for a minute. Yeah, so here it's saying just enter. I will say 3. Now 1 is integer type, again 2.3, then s. Fine. So here you can, if you're not mentioning any data type when you are creating, you are entering, you are adding the element to the list, then you can add any type of element in the list. Fine. So this is how you will create a list and adding element to the list. Now let's come to our next topic. I hope no one is having a problem now. Fine. How to create a list now. Now the second thing comes, if you want to evaluate, okay, if you want to evaluate or identify the data type, what function you will use? You will use just evaluate. Fine. Now when you enter the elements, it will say it's an integer type or a data type or whatever type. So evaluate function is used to identify the data type of list. Now with evaluate method, if you enter elements without a square bracket, it will consider as a tuple. So remember, if you are not using a square bracket, then they are considered for a tuple. Okay, let's say here example, evaluate input, enter the elements. You're not mentioning here the what? Square bracket. So when output comes, output will be in the form of tuple. Now next come to how to access each and every element of a list. Fine. So how will you access yeah. Now the first point says the value stored in a list can be accessed using the slice operator. Okay, with the indexes. And next, how the slice operator, I already told you about the in string how slice operator works. Slice operator contain two things. First one is your start and another one is your end. Start, the by default the value of start is 0 and end is n, means number of elements in the list n, and it will indices between a start to n minus 1. Now you can see here there are these elements in the list. So how index will go? The forward index will 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on till 7. Now backward will start from -2, -3 and so on. Now if you want to access an element of number 2 index, which one is the number 2, which element is on number 2 index? 87. So output comes 87. Now for reverse index we will say -1, so output will be 27. Okay, so here the index you can access like that. Now if you see here that if I am asking for a index 8, so what, it will throw an error, that index error, because index is out of range, no index mentioning, 8 index is not mentioning here. That's why it's give you an error. And how you can assign, later on you want to change the value at the element of 3, instead of 45 you want to write down the 43, just mention the index of that element and write down the value. So it will, because list is a mutable data type, so it will change the value. Now, how to traverse a list? Okay, let's see an example. We will go with like this. We just open our ideally. Fine. Now here I will say day, or in the same list we can do this. Fine. Okay, we will create the list first and then we will see. Now student, let's see the example. Okay, we will just do the same because one or more line we needed. So we will not take input from the user. Now we will delete it. Okay, we will mention basic example we are taking, so we will mention 1 2 3 and 4 value. Okay, now so because we want to traverse, so we will, what we will do here, we will say 4I in list. Okay, we will just write down I, no need of these both statements. Now delete it. Fine. Now print statement will work in for loop. Now save this and press F5. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, it's not responding, so I have to open new one. Wait.